to £500,000. And the UK data protection watchdog, the Information Commissioner's Office, says it's only been able to recover 54% of the £17.8 million in fines issued for nuisance calls since 2010. Well, from today, the company directors of firms behind those calls will be held personally responsible for any law breaks, and they themselves will have to pay fines of up to £500,000. Let's talk now to Margot James, the Government Minister responsible for the new law, and Martin Bostock. He's a businessman from Coventry who says he was getting about 20 nuisance calls a day. Hello, both of you. Thank you very much for coming on the programme. You said earlier this year that you were one step closer to ending nuisance calls. Does this mean that they are going to be ended from today?
Well, I mean, it's a big step today. I think it will really focus minds that from now on, directors themselves will be personally liable for the fines of up to £500,000.
And what does that mean in practical terms?
Well, that means in practical terms that the Information Commissioner will be able to recover a lot more of the fines that she levies. Because what happens is that persistent offenders will put their companies into liquidations to avoid the company paying the fine. But that will no longer have any point because they will themselves, as individuals, be liable. So I think this will have a significant effect. It's a big problem. I mean, one measure won't end the whole problem. But this is on the back of many other measures that we have taken to date.
Well, let's see what Martin thinks of it. Hi, Martin. Thanks for talking to us. What do you think of this change from today? Will it make a difference?
No, I don't. Well, it will make a difference, but it'll be a marginal difference because the people in the dark side are already well aware of what's coming, and they're taking the necessary measures. It relies on agencies that, for instance, don't do that which people perhaps assume that they do. And the flight of many of the call centre type operations to both spoofing over VoIP processors, over internet calling, being able to fabricate numbers and so on, mean that the problem is constantly moving ahead of the regulators. I would have preferred to see, and I lobbied for, a process that follows the money, where the directors of those who commission and benefit from the service, not the taxi driver, not the delivery company, not the call centre, they're just an agency. But people like those, for instance, I received an unsolicited call from Everest Double Glazing just a couple of weeks ago. I'm not afraid to name them. A man actually came round to my house too. They got my number, somebody made the call. I would like to see the directors of Everest pursued, not the hapless call centre in the middle, who had been assured that it was a legitimate number.
Well, James, could the director of a company like that be pursued?
Yes, indeed they could. It's the company that's commissioning the unsolicited and illegal calls that is liable, and from today it'll be the directors of that company who will actually face fines personally up to £500,000. Right. The other thing we've done, we've outlawed the claims management companies from making unsolicited calls unless they have prior consent. And I don't know whether you've noticed, Victoria, but on commercial radio now, a lot of claims management companies are advertising direct to the consumers saying, if you've got a case, text this number. And that indicates to me that they are actually now seeking people's consent, which is what we want.
Yeah, OK. How bad